You ready?
Here we go.
You sure you ready? All right.
You know this. Yes, yes. It is your main man, Anthony Smith, and I'm sitting here with my main guy.
Yo, P in the building.
Welcome back to Chop It Up, P, episode 7.
Number 7, lucky 7, man.
Lucky number 7. We are in here today, and today we're talking about dealing with personalities, as P likes to call them. I like to call them assholes.
What you call them?
Assholes. Yeah, that's where I'm at with this whole thing. But go ahead, P, pop it off.
Yeah, man. It's sometimes, man, you book these gigs, whether it be photography or it be video, man, and you just don't mesh well with the personalities of your clients, man.
All money ain't good money.
Right. You just gotta be aware and kind of gonna give some tips on, for one, kind of looking out for that kind of stuff, and then two, how to actually deal with it when you're working.
Right. Now, okay.
It's touchy, man, right?
It is. It's very touchy because I've had people that were cool, everything was good, and then get exactly what they asked for and mad because they want more.
Oh man, don't even bring that story up. I know.
I'm just saying it happens. You know, hey, you did everything right. Consultation went well. The shoot went well. Everything mapped out the way that they wanted it. They get the project and they say, why wasn't this done?
I think with that type of customer or client, I would say, I think you got to understand that sometimes you're not going to satisfy people no matter what you do. And you just got to be okay with it sometimes.
Yeah. And stand your ground, have your contract ready, and know what was talked about. And not saying don't be a pushover, but don't let them force you into something that you didn't agree upon because you feel like you need that gig, because you don't. Because odds are this is how they are in their everyday life, and they're just trying to get over on you, bro.
Right. You know, sometimes you get on these gigs and they'll throw them little curveballs like, hey, can you think you can sneak this in too? Like, we didn't talk about that from the beginning, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah, you think you can sneak in that extra $400? We can sneak in whatever you want.
I think the biggest thing, Ant touched on it already a little bit. The biggest thing to make sure that there is no personality clashes or any type of disagreements or anything like that is to make sure, I used to not do this. Ant put me on it, and I'm glad that he did. Make a contract. It doesn't have to be super professional or anything, but you guys need to lay out exactly what the expectations are for the service that you are giving.
A lot of times people aren't even going to read the contracts all the way through. I'm not saying don't make your contract super legit. What I'm saying is automatically when I hand you this paper right here and ask you to sign it, you're like, oh, he's serious.
Right.
It just takes your professionalism to a whole nother level.
And you should be doing, if you're going to present yourself as a professional, you got to understand, folks, they sign contracts for everything that's like and a big, like a gym membership or a cell phone or, even like your gas bill, like all that stuff. There's contracts attached to all of that. So if you don't think that you're worthy to be respected as the next professional company, that's how you're gonna get treated off top. So that's one way to cut off any type of personality conflicts or anything like that. Not saying that it's because you're still going to sometimes have some bumps in the road,
Yes.
But that's one step to make sure, if you've been following along with us, Ant went over what he does, like as far as like consultations and stuff.
You gotta sit down and have that consultation. And I've been bitten in the butt too many times for not doing it, and it's just something that I got to do. I don't care. Now I'm down with a FaceTime call. I'm down as long as we can visually both see each other. I'm down with that. I would prefer to sit down in person. I could get more of a vibe from you. But FaceTime call works for me too. But we're gonna have a consultation of some sort if we've never worked together. It's just gonna happen because all money is not good money.
And sometimes the you might create conflicts from just not, like, if you only rely on text message, you're asking for some problems, man.
Yeah.
Because like not everybody can read what you feel and in the tone that you're saying it.
Correct.
So
Cap locks don't always work.
Right. You might put something like wow, and you might put it in all caps, and you really mean like wow, like that's cool, and they're like, wow, you got a problem?
Yeah.
And it's just like, just be careful, man. Like, have voice, like talk. I know y'all new kids don't like talking to each other and stuff like that. I'm still old school when it comes to that stuff. I'm always pick. You older than me, bruh.
Listen, you
right? Exactly. See how he got quiet? Y'all heard that pause? He old as hell.
Listen.
But no, seriously, like your clients are gonna appreciate it a lot more. They're gonna definitely feel more comfortable with you if everything is not over damn like a inbox message, a Facebook Messenger, or just text messaging. Like, schedule some time and talk to them.
And especially nowadays with so much social media and so much text messaging going back and forth, people respect that. People actually feel like, wow, he really wants to sit down and meet with me. That's another point that you're going to get. It may not seem like something big, but listen, it is. And it's going to be big for both of you guys because you get to meet, you get to sit down, you get to vibe, you get to really see what type of person they are within that 30 to 45 minutes that you guys sit down together. You're deciding in your head if you want to work with this person, and they're deciding if you're the right person. Both of you guys are doing the same thing.
100%.
And it's important to do it in person because that miscommunication over a text message can just be a month-long headache.
Right, and and on both sides.
Yes,
you can take your client the wrong way, and your client take you the wrong way.
And it makes it even worse when you can't definitively say this is what went wrong. So now, without you having that, you have to fix something. Now you're working 3 times harder, 4 times harder to make this client happy when if it was in black and white, if you guys discussed it prior, you could just say, no, that was never discussed. But you didn't do that. You forgot. Maybe it was in a text message. Maybe the text message got deleted. Maybe this happened. Maybe that happened. All of that's going to cause a headache and more work, less time, less money. You know what I mean? Because now you're dealing with this person rather than being able to advertise or post up some of your newest work or even go out and shoot something else. All of that stuff is being pushed on hold because you're dealing with Mr. Asshole.
Right. And I
Mr.
think,
Asshole.
And I think another step with dealing with clientele is have patience, man.
Yeah.
You got to have a lot of patience. You got to understand that sometimes this is their first time ever even dealing with you or dealing with anybody in that field. So they might have an expectation that's out there that might not be real, but that's your responsibility to, you got to understand that you're still representing the whole industry that you're in regardless. So if you come off as a jerk, then you're going to set up the next videographer for them to expect, like, well, these videographers are jerks, or these photographers are arrogant, and they're this and they're that and they're this and they're that. So make sure you're patient, man, and listen first. Listen first, and don't be scared to ask a question. Like, you can ask them without asking them, are you being rude? You could just re-ask. All you got to do is say, well, what did you mean by that?
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, like, if it came off rude or something like that, they'll pull back.
Yeah,
they'll pull back and be like, yo, like, I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't mean it like that. And then you guys end up like just running off, and everybody's happy at the end of the day. But I have found the clients that I haven't had the most communication with are the ones that I usually have just misunderstandings. Not saying that I have a lot of misunderstandings and I have like bad rapport. I don't. But I just think that you end up, like Ant was saying, like you end up dealing with stuff that you don't necessarily need to, you know. So you want to make sure that you put yourself in that position to, if you got to over communicate, man, like not to the point where you're nagging, but just make sure you know.
Yeah.
And that they know.
And there's a lot, and you can't give them the benefit of the doubt of knowing, because a lot of times they do not know. They'll show you something that was shot damn near motion picture with red cameras, airy cameras, and the budget is $500. And it's your job to understand what they're showing you when they hold that cell phone out and they say, "This is what I want." And you got to say, "Oh,
right." Don't you say I'm gonna do it. If you cannot reproduce it, you are asking for your ass to get bit the fuck up because you promised something that you couldn't produce. Do not do that. Do not promise. You be 100 with these clients. Like, hey, that's a nice video, but I can't do that.
But
let me show you what I can do, though. You know, and you don't have to, like, you just be straight. I have no problem with letting folks know this is where I'm at in my career. I'm just not at that level yet.
Right.
I don't have that type of equipment. I'm sorry.
And a lot of times their pocket isn't that deep anyways. So
right, you start
because you don't get ahead of yourself, but there's a lot of videographers, photographers that are out there that are dope. Insanely dope, and their work is all over the place. People sharing it, everybody's seeing it, and odds are one of the clients that maybe come across you are going to show you someone else's work. They're going to show you something that Peter McKinnon shot and be like, "Can you do this for me?" And you can be like, "No, that was shot doing this, and this with the crew of this, and this." These are things that they're not going to understand because all they see is the finished product. And they say, "This is what I want." Now you can say, like P said, "This is what I can do," but the budget is going to be way higher.
Right. End of the day, you gotta solid communication is gonna save any situation.
So don't be a yes man in there at these consultations or when you meet these people because you're so excited that somebody's actually liking your work.
Right.
Odds are they already seen your stuff, they already like your stuff, and you just have to say, "Listen, we can do it. It's gonna be on a much lower level of a budget. I can give you something close to this, not exactly this. The quality's not going to be the exact same that you're seeing right here." And then give them the because and let them tell you no, because maybe they might be the first client that wants to rent that red for you.
Right. Right.
You never know. You know what I mean? You never know. But without the communication, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot every time signing up for some BS.
I'm glad you brought that point up because I don't know how many times that there's been, you know, like, You'll book a wedding and like you said, they'll show you something on the phone and they want this and they want that. And then you explain what it is and they're like, "Well, shit, how much does that cost?" You tell them, they're like, "Well, shit, let's go with it then. Let's make it happen." You know, and you know, sometimes they won't tell you that up front, but I can tell you that there's a lot of people that are on gimmick shit out there in the industry and they shoot themselves in the foot and they're going to remember if you had a genuine conversation with them or not, and they're going to come back to you because you were genuine. Sometimes you might even get booked just because you were genuine.
Yeah.
You know, there might be somebody that was charging the exact same price as you that's killing you, but your personality won the gig over, you know. So you definitely got to hold your patience, man. And
very true.
And look to listen first instead of always having the answers. Remember, at the end of the day, you're being hired to do something for somebody else, not for you. You know, it's not the other way around.
Yeah.
You're not hiring them. They're hiring you.
Remember that. That is very big. You are just as important as they are. And if you're just sitting there thinking about the money, you're going to think wrong every time.
Every time. If you're in this just to make money, man, like if you're super talented, that's cool, man. But shout out to everybody that's out here chasing a passion, because to me that there's just something that means more to me when I hand somebody a video or I sit there and I watch it with them and they break down into tears. Like, to me, that just erased the charge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's something that somebody's gonna carry for the rest of their life, and that just means more to me, like, than the money. Obviously, we all got to get paid. We all got to work. We all got bills. but that's not why I'm in this. You know, like
Yeah.
the money's gonna come if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. The money's gonna come regardless. I don't care what you're doing. That's no matter any field that you're in. If you're doing it right, you're gonna get paid. But just videography and photography, like, it's just different to me.
Yeah. Keep the lines of communication open. If you have any questions, make sure you ask those questions and let them know that you're open for suggestions as well. Within a certain restraint, though, you know, you can't just be doing backflips for these people.
Right. Definitely don't get punked, man.
Yeah,
Don't put yourself in a situation where you start feeling like
run you through the
you
ringer.
gotta snap at them, and like you gotta understand, like, if you weren't up front at the beginning, you set yourself up because you didn't set no boundaries.
Exactly.
So if you don't set boundaries, then understand they're about to walk on you.
Yes. It's like you go into a dental office and you need to get a cavity taken out, or they tell you they got to do a bridge, right? You have no idea what goes into the preparation for getting that bridge, doing the bridge, sending out the billing for the bridge, the medicine that has to go behind the bridge. If you have to take something, the checking for the allergic reactions to the stuff that they're going to give you. You just know that you need a bridge done. Think about it like that. They just know that they want their wedding video done. They have no idea what all has to go into doing the wedding video. And it is up to you to break that down. And if they need to see why the price is the price, break it all down into a list and show it to them, because
Right.
they do not know. And sometimes you'll get somebody tricky and they'll play you and act like they do know, but 7 to 8 out of 10 clients don't know.
Right. And even if they do know, if you break all that stuff down, at least they know what you are gonna do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So either way, it's a win-win. So no matter what you do, communicate. Don't be scared to get on. If you're not in the business of talking to people, I don't know what you, like. I don't know.
Get out of this business.
Right. Like this. This is a business of communication, 100%. No matter how you chop it up, and you know the best way to me, like I said earlier, it's that phone call, that face to face, that FaceTime. You know, there's too many ways to communicate these days. To like, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
At this point,
And especially a lot of times, because when it comes to these live events, once you get there, it's go time. It's not like a music video where you got time to talk in between set. It's not a movie where you have time to stop and say, oh, we need to do this over. Oh, we need to do that over. It's go time. And you can't talk to the people that hired you, and the people that they hired to run the rest of the event have no idea the discussions that you guys had in private together. So you got to get it together, and you got to know what's going on. And that's when the professionalism comes out, and you got to shine.
Yeah, man.
Well, this was episode 7.
Number 7.
Dealing with the asshole.
What was that?
The asshole.
How do you even spell that?
Hey,
We're gonna get up out of here, y'all.
Oh.
We're gonna get up out of here, man. Hopefully it helped you guys out, man. You know, dealing with folks can be hard. We're all human. We all got personalities. We all got our things that we like and dislike. But at the same time, we all gotta learn to coincide together, especially when it comes to these gigs, dude.
I don't have nothing else to say. It's your boy Anthony Smith,
And Yo P in the building.
and this is
Chop it up.
How